Actually feels really good out here today. So we got a few things on the agenda for today. First of all, the other day when I did the soil testing, I forgot to do these 2 beds here. These 2 raised beds. So I'm gonna get the soil sample out for that. Let it sit a little bit and kind of dry out a tiny bit before I test it. Check on the chickens, feed them, get them water, because I actually drank that whole bowl of water. And then, let's see what else. I've already forgotten. So these 2 raised beds, when we first put this dirt in them, it was awful. Nothing would grow in them. Everything we put in them died or just didn't grow. We'd actually gotten the dirt from a place at the end of the road, which we later learned was not, or they weren't a place worth messing with, and apparently the rest of the town figured it out too because they're out of business. Anyhow, it was mainly sand. There was nothing in it but sand. And so we spent a lot of time building this soil back up. And actually, this one behind the camera, we kept our meat birds in them. In the raised bed, we put just a hoop of chicken wire over it and tarp over half so they'd have a place to sleep. When they were real small, you know, too big to be in a box on the porch, but too little to go up on the hill in the poultry net, we kept them here. And so it had several weeks worth of chicken poop and scratching, and right now it also had bedding in it, pine shavings, and now the dirt is really good. Last year I had filled the whole bed with lettuce, and I couldn't believe how great it did. So I'll be interested to see how it looks this year. Last year there were so many worms in it, it was almost gross. I put this black mulch on it last fall, just for the sake of trying to keep the weeds from taking over it and being so hard to prepare for this year. It's nice soft dirt. The other one. Now this whole end of this one is purely sand, because for a while we'd actually made this half of this bed a sandbox. I built a platform over there for the kids' playhouse, and so we made this half of it sandbox. So kind of just shoved the sand over to the end and tried to work on building up the dirt a little bit. We actually moved some dirt from that bed over here and also added compost, which you can see. This should be pretty loose on the top because, like I said, it's so much compost. And then underneath is where you'll find this would probably be really good for some root type beets and carrots and stuff, judging by how loose this is. Lots and lots of worms in there. It's probably gonna be pretty good. What I'm gonna do, I've got my 2 samples. I'm gonna just put them on some paper plates and let them dry out a little bit so that they'll be easier to mix and chop up. Of course, this is significantly drier than the soil was up on the hill, probably being covered up. Plus, it's actually finally been a few days since we've had rain. So I'm just gonna put it on a paper plate like this and let it sit out here in the sun and dry out for a little bit before I do my testing. So the chickens have already dumped their water. Go figure. So I'm gonna go up the hill and get a different water bowl that maybe will set flatter. I think the one that I've got down there right now was working before because it was sitting kind of in a concrete hole, so it didn't rock as easily. See if we can fix that. Okay, so we've had our soil samples sitting out here drying out for a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and mix it up. I've got Silas, he's gonna help me, right? Okay, here's your cup. My cup. I'm gonna go for 3 spoons of dirt. I'm gonna get you this spoon. And then a cup of distilled water. Yeah, looks good. We'll do 3 of those. Ew, grub.
Kill it.
Hey, I think you need a coat on.
In the coat.
You're not going to be warm enough.
But in your coat.
You want to measure out a cup of water?
It's really warm in this thing. Is that much warm?
Yeah, that looks good.
Like if we've already here, behind your neck goes high.
Now that looks perfect. Let me rinse this off a little. Go ahead and mix yours all up.
Good.
That feels pretty good. All right, so we're gonna take this over and set it on the table. Here,
For about an
you
hour.
carry this.
For about an hour.
Yeah, maybe 30 minutes. Okay, let's go put it on, we'll put it on the inside table. All right, we're ready to start seeding some microgreens. This is the first time that I've ever done microgreens, so I'm kind of excited about it.
But could I help you?
Yes. Okay, so we've got, what I found was these trays that I had saved from buying some petunias at a nursery last year, and I kept the tray that goes under it too. And I cleaned them up with some bleach water in the shower. I've got 2 of them, so.
But there's another one.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. All right. Let me sit down here. Here's what we'll do, Bubby. I'll pour some and you help level it out, okay? Look. Can you help me flatten them out?
Yeah. That isn't enough.
I don't know.
We need a lot more.
What you working on, Silas?
What?
What are you working on? You gonna go dig something? Okay.
But